While there is an ongoing debate about the origin of life, what happened to all the life on the planet has already been explained by the concept of evolution. After Lamarck proposed his theory of evolution in 802, it was widely thought of to happen this way. In a population of giraffes with a diet of leaves which grow on tall trees, giraffes with shorter necks stretched their necks every day to try and reach the leaves which they had to eat to survive. This made their necks grow longer by the day, and when the giraffes grew to the age when they were able to reproduce, their offspring were born with long necks and could reach the leaves on the tall trees easily. However, following the process of sexual reproduction, we can see why Lamarckism was proved to be wrong soon after. Traits which parents acquire in their lifetime cannot be passed on to the next generation simply because these traits are not encoded for in their DNA. For example, a mother who has rough skin on her hands from doing housework will still give birth to a baby with smooth skin. Instead, based on Charles Darwin's theory of natural selection, there were fewer giraffes with short necks which would live to reproductive age as compared to giraffes with long necks. Hence, genes coding for long necks were being passed on more frequently in the population. Over many generations, the populations then turned out with many more giraffes with long necks than short necks. From this example, we can see how natural selection causes favorable traits to be accumulated in the population over many generations, where only the fittest can survive in the environment. Contrary to our perception of fitness, fitness in the natural world refers to an organism's reproductive capacity. However, the degree of fitness in each organism changes once there is a change in their environment.
Represents a dark colored environment, and this box represents a light colored environment. Now I will try to pick out as many of these butterflies in each of the environments as I can in 5 seconds at random.
After completing the activity myself, I got a few other individuals to do the same. Afterwards, I tabulated the number of butterflies of each color which each of us picked out in the different colored boxes. From my results, we can see that there is a higher chance of dark butterflies being picked out when they were picked out against a light background, and a higher chance of light butterflies being picked out when they were picked out against a dark background. Just like how butterflies which were colored differently from their environment were easier for me to pick out, these butterflies are also easier to be spotted by their predators and hence have a lower chance of survival to reproductive age. Thus, we can see that with a change in environment, the degree of fitness of the differently colored butterflies was reversed. In fact, a decrease in white-peppered moths and an increase in black-peppered moths were observed during the industrialization of England. This phenomenon, called industrial melanism, was used to support Darwin's theory of natural selection. Natural selection favors organisms with adaptations to their environment. However, there are also other mechanisms of evolution which do not follow this trend. Chance events can also alter the distribution of genes and their corresponding traits in a population. In this population of birds, there are 4 birds with genes which code for red feathers, 1 with blue and 3 with yellow. These 2 tiles represent their permanent habitat. One day, if a terrible storm comes along, the distribution of genes which code for red, blue and yellow feathers will be significantly altered. As can be seen, only 1 red bird and 1 yellow bird are left within the habitat. Natural disasters like this occur by chance, and the traits which remain in the population do not necessarily give the organisms an advantage in the environment. This mechanism of evolution by chance events is called genetic drift and occurs concurrently with natural selection. Actually, many effects of evolution are also caused by humans through the mechanism of evolution called artificial selection. Through selective breeding by inbreeding and hybridization of organisms with our desired qualities, the frequency of traits which humans desire in a population increases. In fact, there is scientific evidence to suggest that the docile bulldogs in our homes today actually evolved from wolves. From our evolution to become lactose tolerant till adulthood and resistant to malaria, we can see that humans are still subject to evolution. Even with our continuous advancements in technology, we'll still be part of the natural world.